Have you ever stared at the walls of your room at night? Have you ever looked at your shadow and thought, that's me? I used to think the same until one night, I saw shadows that didn't belong to me. They moved when I didn't. They whispered my name when I tried to sleep. And soon I realized something terrifying. Those shadows weren't just watching me. They wanted me. Liam was an ordinary 17-year-old boy who loved staying up late, scrolling on his phone in the quiet of his room. One night, as he lay on his bed with the lights turned low, something caught his eye. On the far wall, there were 3 shadows instead of 2. At first, he laughed it off. Maybe it was the lamp, maybe it was his chair. But then he noticed something strange. The extra shadow didn't match any object in his room. It was taller, thinner, and stood in the corner, completely still. Liam slowly moved his hand to test it. His own shadow shifted as expected, but the other one? It didn't move. It just stood there, watching. He turned on the main light, and the shadow disappeared. His heart calmed a little, and he told himself it was just his imagination. But when he switched the light off again, the shadow was back, closer this time. That was the moment Liam realized something was very, very wrong with his room. After what happened the previous night, Liam told himself it was nothing more than a trick of his tired eyes. He kept repeating it in his head the whole day. But when night came again, the fear returned like an old friend. He turned off the lights, leaving only the faint glow of the street lamp outside his window. The room was silent except for the soft hum of his fan. He lay on the bed, eyes fixed on the wall where he had seen the strange shadow before. For a while, everything seemed normal. His own shadow stretched across the wall, along with the shape of his chair and desk. But then, he saw it. The extra shadow was back. Tall. Thin. Standing in the corner like it owned the darkness. Liam froze, holding his breath. His hands were under the blanket, but the shadow's arms began to move slowly, crawling up the wall like black smoke twisting in the air. Liam's body stiffened. "It's not real. It's not real," he whispered in his mind. He gathered the courage to lift his hand just a little. His own shadow obeyed, rising on the wall. The other one didn't. Instead, it bent unnaturally, its long arms stretching toward the ceiling. Liam's heart pounded so hard it hurt. He reached for the lamp and flicked it on. Bright light flooded the room, and the shadow vanished instantly. But this time, something was different. Liam noticed the curtain swaying as if someone had brushed past it. Something had moved in the dark. The next night, Liam didn't even want to sleep in his room. He tried convincing himself to stay in the living room, but his parents would ask questions. So, with a deep breath and his phone clutched tight, he went back inside. He left the lamp on this time, afraid of the darkness. Hours passed as he scrolled through videos, trying to keep his mind busy. But then, it started. A faint sound. Like breathing. Slow, deep, and close. Liam froze, his finger hovering above the screen. He turned his head slowly toward the corner where he had seen the shadow before. Nothing. Just the wall and his chair. He exhaled shakily and laughed under his breath. I'm losing it, he thought. But the moment he lay back down, he heard it again. This time, it wasn't just breathing. It was whispers. Very soft, almost like wind, but he could make out the words. We see you. Liam's eyes widened. His chest tightened as the whisper grew louder. We see you. Join us. Join us. He threw the blanket over his head, heart racing, but the voices didn't stop. They seemed to crawl inside his mind, repeating the same words over and over. For the first time, Liam whispered back, his voice trembling. Who are you? The room fell silent. For a few seconds, he thought it was over until a low, distorted voice answered from the dark. We are you. Liam barely slept after hearing that voice. He spent the rest of the night with the lamp on, staring at the corner, praying for morning. When the sun finally came, he convinced himself it was all in his head. He even laughed about it at breakfast, though his hands wouldn't stop shaking. But that night, everything changed. It was 2:47 a.m. when Liam woke up suddenly, his throat dry, his skin cold. The lamp was still on, but the room didn't feel safe anymore. He sensed it immediately. That heavy, choking silence. That feeling of being watched. He turned his head toward the wall and froze. The shadow was back. Not on the wall this time. It was standing next to his bed. It wasn't just a shape now, it had form. A tall, thin figure, made of pure darkness, its edges shifting like smoke. Its eyes glowed faintly, two pale white dots burning in the black. Liam couldn't move. He couldn't breathe. His whole body went numb as the thing leaned closer, its face inches from his. He could feel the icy air coming off it. Then, slowly, it raised its hand. A long, black, claw-like hand that shimmered like liquid night. And before Liam could scream, the shadow touched his arm. The moment it made contact, Liam felt like ice was crawling under his skin. His arm went completely numb, then his chest. His breath came in short gasps as he tried to pull away, but his body wouldn't respond. The shadow whispered one word, its voice colder than death. Mine. Liam didn't sleep for the rest of the night. When morning came, he checked his arm in the mirror. The spot where the shadow touched him was pale and cold, like the blood had drained out. No matter how much he rubbed it, the chill wouldn't go away. He tried to convince himself it was a nightmare, but deep down, he knew it wasn't. The fear wouldn't let him rest. He needed answers. That afternoon, Liam went to the local library. His hands shook as he typed into the old computer. Strange shadows in my room. Hundreds of results appeared, but one caught his eye, the Black Room phenomenon. It talked about spirits of the dead who become shadows, dark remnants of people who couldn't move on. They haunt the place where they died, feeding on life to stay in this world. As he read further, his heart sank. There was a section about houses where multiple deaths occurred in the same room, causing shadows to multiply. The article ended with a chilling line. Once the shadows touch you, they claim a piece of your soul. Liam slammed the laptop shut, sweating. He needed to know if his house had a history. That night at dinner, He asked his parents casually, "How long have we lived here?" "5 years," his mom said. "And before us?" His dad paused. "Why?" "Just wondering." His dad sighed. "Some guy owned it before. Lived alone. They said he disappeared." Liam's stomach dropped. His dad continued, almost whispering, "They never found his body. Only his shadow burned into the wall." That night, Liam decided he wouldn't run. He couldn't. The shadows had already touched him. They had whispered to him. If what he read was true, they had already taken a part of him. He locked the door, shut the curtains, and sat on his bed with the lamp on, gripping a metal flashlight like a weapon. His heart thudded in his chest as the minutes crawled by. Midnight came. Then 1. Then 2. At 3:03 a.m., the lamp flickered. Liam's breath caught. He tapped the lamp, trying to keep it steady, but the light dimmed, then went out completely. Darkness swallowed the room. The moment it did, Liam felt it. The cold, suffocating air. The silence that wasn't silence at all. Whispers filled the dark, circling him like vultures. "Mine. Ours. Join us." The flashlight shook in his hands as he turned it on, but the beam barely worked, flickering weakly. Still, it was enough to see shadows crawling along the walls, dozens of them, stretching like black vines, twisting unnaturally. He backed against the wall, shaking his head. "Stay away from me. Stay away," he screamed. But the shadows didn't listen. They began peeling off the walls, rising like liquid figures, tall and thin, their white eyes glowing. Liam swung the flashlight wildly, but the beam passed right through them. The whispers grew louder, almost chanting now. The floor seemed to melt into blackness as they moved closer. Liam ran for the door, yanking it open only to find another room. His room. Every door he tried led back to the same place. The same bed. The same shadows. The same whispers. Then, all at once, the voices stopped. Liam turned slowly and saw them. All of them. Standing in a circle around him, their faces inches away. He couldn't even scream before they lunged. The last thing Liam heard was his own heartbeat and the word that sealed his fate. "Now you're one of us." Morning sunlight poured into the room, casting warm light on the walls. Everything was quiet. The bed was neatly made. Liam's phone lay on the nightstand, the screen cracked. But Liam was gone. His parents thought he had left early for school, but as the hours passed and he didn't come back, panic set in. They searched the entire house, then the streets, then called the police. The officers searched every room, every corner, until one of them stopped in Liam's bedroom. He stared at the wall for a long time before calling the others over. There, on the far wall, were shadows. Multiple shadows, frozen in strange, twisted poses. The shadows of tall figures with long arms, and one small shadow in the center. It was the shape of Liam. The police tried to explain it away as an illusion, but no one could wash off the dark stains on the wall. And at night, when Liam's parents walked past his empty room, they swore they could still hear whispers. Whispers saying, One more.